So thank you guys. Today's another episode that we are starting over. Karibuni sana to my channel Elijah Wanjoy. Karibuni sana. Thank you guys for keeping it locked here. Today's topic is about the secret building blocks of wealth and why action beats excuses. Most of the people have been asking me on chat, on Facebook, on Instagram, about different secrets or the building blocks of wealth, but most importantly is why action beats excuses. So thank you guys. For those of us who've not subscribed, please continue subscribing to my channel, and I really appreciate your concern. I'll start by quoting a quote done by Tony Robbins that says a real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken a new action. So if there is no action, you haven't truly decided. Action taking is not easy. It's not easy, but Tony Robbins said that you can only measure a real decision by the fact that you've taken a new action. So that one means that if you've not taken any action, then you've not really decided on what you're gonna do. So I'll also maybe compare notes by saying that actions speak volumes. So once you decide to take action, be it in your maybe ICT task, maybe you're in the profession of farming, you are in teaching profession, you're maybe in this era of AI, you can also become an online sales, online marketer, say whatever you want, and you can even work across the world. But taking action remains to be the biggest handle that we guys have, especially these ones or ourselves from Africa. We only talk much about things, but we are never in the front line to taking action. So in our video today, we also learn about different building blocks of the wealth cycle. But so to speak, in our last video, we talked about writing down the things that we want to achieve in our lives and contemplating the many things that we want to set out for, maybe do or practice in the coming years. So just need to take one single step, decide on a profession that you're familiar with, then you take action. Of course, there are various challenges. I've been hearing about guys talking about different niches, marketing, tracking, but irrespective of the niche that you choose, the road is not going to be very easy. But trust me, taking action, is the first actionable steps towards building wealth and building your goals. However, much of or most of the problems come in when we tend to procrastinate or maybe have some level of complacency, which can adversely affect our success in all the projects that we set out to do. But now the risk comes in because if you don't take action, then you expect zero results. People often say that I want to do this and I want to do that, but once you decide on taking action and maybe having a mentor who is, this one can shorten your learning cycle and can also help you achieve some of the challenges that maybe your mentor has gone through, notably by understanding that whatever your mind can conceive, just like Napoleon Hill said in his book, Think and Grow Rich. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, then you can achieve or you can get hold of it. So thank you guys. If you think about it, and if you're sure that you have the financial muscle, you have the time, then it's time to take action, which forms one of the basic building blocks of creating wealth. So most of the people have ideas, but you forget to okay, you tend to ask your colleagues or maybe your friends, where do I start? And that is when you start now building the complacency, and that one can be a very very great barrier or handle to your achievement. So it can also cause some level of procrastination or postponing, and this one adversely affects your timelines to generating wealth. As you work on maybe taking baby steps towards doing something, you also build up the confidence maybe to operate a business, because it's never easy and it's never going to be easy. But trust you me, the results are tremendous. So once you start maybe taking action, then you have to overcome doubt, self worry, and maybe you start seeing how things keep on changing, and you understand that your first action is your first tenable goal towards achieving your objectives. As soon as you put your plan into motion, it will gain momentum and you'll have the urge to work more and more. And as I stated that objects in motion, or objects, an object that is at rest tends to or remains at rest, while an object in motion is at motion. So basically today we are just talking about how to keep moving, which is one of the most basic and underestimated secrets of that forms the building block of wealth. So taking action, you beat excuses, is your first goal. So I'm just here to tell you to take that leap of faith, take that risk, make sure that you risk positively. Once you risk positively, then you're likely to see maybe to keep moving. And it's also worth noting that taking action needs out of courage. Taking action needs or requires a lot of courage, and for you to keep moving. I think that's Newton's first law in physics, that objects that are in motion will always remain in motion. So once you start doing something, that momentum keeps on, you keep on gaining momentum, and the more likely you are likely to continue with the art action. So becomes hard for you to stop. It becomes very hard for you to stop doing that business. So and as you continue with maybe these different tasks, you come to realize that opportunities will always erupt and become open. And once you have this courage, you'll always have the energy to keep moving or to tackle new tasks. And These actions and plans will build up eventually, giving you more energy and let you work until you feel that you are ready, or maybe you're getting something. So that is about taking baby steps. You take small actions, you combine one, two, because if you keep waiting for the right time, then let me tell you for sure, there is no right time. Most of the billionaires started by taking opportunities when things were not okay, because things will never be perfect. And if you avoid maybe doing something because you don't have a plan of action, then you are likely to fail. But it's better to fail once you've tried. So, as I said during my first comment, that we'll also learn about different building blocks of the wealth cycle. One is about understanding the gap analysis, and this one involves creating an innovative financial model that can help you understand where you are, what you can do, and where you want to go. So it's kind of creating a personal opportunity to understand that this is a problem that I can solve. This is a problem that I can solve in the society. It's a problem that I can solve in a particular niche, maybe in a school, um, community, or maybe even in government. By doing this gap analysis, you develop a financial model to see the gains and maybe the losses. Um, Secondly, it's also good to maybe have a financial baseline, or maybe a financial understanding of the current financial situation, understand the maybe the profits and losses in a particular niche, and maybe also the assets and the liabilities. So this one provides an estimate um, to assist you understand, or maybe have that financial background in relation to a certain business, or maybe an action that you want to take, because nobody wants to be in business to make losses. So another maybe building block that is very very much important in wealth management is about debt management. And most of the people typically struggle with consumer debt, and this one adversely affects their confidence and maybe the capability to build wealth. So if you have huge financial goals, you need to be a proper debt manager. You need to know how to manage personal debt, then maybe capital debt, or maybe corporate debt. If you have maybe a company, you need to know how you're managing your debts, be it short term or long term debts. Um, Before I talk about another building block, I want to talk about something which is very crucial to understand once you want to venture, or you are already in an existing business. It's important to understand different forms of business entities for purpose of maybe um, tax avoidance. I'm not talking about evading tax, rather. I'm talking about tax avoidance, to make sure that you have maybe um, leverage to maybe pay less on taxes depending on your business entity or your business profile. So most of the people have trusts, sole proprietorships, partnerships, corporations, maybe which can be limited or unlimited. And these ones, understanding your business structure, your business entity can help you understand or take advantage of the existing taxation measures in the country. And this one can help your business to grow. So this is one of the biggest secrets that maybe most of the billionaires and the millionaires, the B and M's use to make sure that they leverage on tax so that they can gain the maximum from doing business. So you need to understand this so that you are able to understand where you have maybe some maybe tax strategies that can assist you maximize on your net profits. Um, we also need to one another building block is the fact that for you to create wealth, you need to generate some system that looks like a cash machine. In such a case, this one we can see it as a system or maybe a tool that can assist you to maybe um generate or create more revenue, um or create some sales or maybe some money that comes into your business, maybe passive or active, but from a legitimate business activity. So this ones means the bottom line or maybe the common core denominator here means that for you, even if you're operating a business, you need to precisely understand and depict and learn how to earn from the business. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about your business needs to create revenues and to create some form of cash. You need to have revenues generating or being generated or mounting for your business. And that is why I'm talking about a cash machine. So if you have maybe a business A, business B, and you're able to get maybe a few passive coins from this end, then you're able to get maybe some few other coins from maybe business B. A combination of these passive incomes is going to be the end result of your wealth. Another building block that is often ignored by many, especially for the middle income earners, is the having an account where you can manage your wealth. This is very, very much important. Um, Even investments, you need to pay yourself first. You need to separate business and personal accounts. So that is why I'm talking about financial and wealth management. And this one can be done through the establishment of a corporate or wealth account where you can be able to manage funds for an organization. So what does this one do? So this one cushions you against extreme circumstances when your business might also be hedged so much um and its revenues or profits affected. So this one keeps your business separate from your personal entity. So when I talked about different forms of business entities, I talked about corporations. A corporation is different from maybe a C corporation is different from a partnership or maybe a sole proprietorship. And also, you need to understand maybe have a limited lab, a LLC form of company, and as long as you follow what is required in filing maybe the desired taxation returns, and maybe other entities that might be provided by the government. Another underrated, or maybe something that has often been overlooked is about having proper financial projections. So this one is very important before you venture, or even as you venture into a business. You need to have the right projection so that you can properly understand your revenues, expenditures, your liabilities, your assets, your maybe expenses, your debts. Um, this proper forecasting also helps you understand where you are, where you want to move to, and maybe have a sound plan on on solid business expansion. Last but not least, I'll talk about a wholesome in the wealth management or wealth building cycle. You need to have various traits. First of all, you need to maybe understand or have proper leadership, maybe teamwork. This is very, very much essential for you because you are not always on the business. Sometimes you can also be a passive owner who is doing other business on the side. But even as you do this, you need to have a very, very good, maybe a very, very good team, technical team, and administrative team. You need to have a very, very good team, maybe with good relationships. And this one is likely to also have a positive impact on your business. So I think today we've exhausted maybe these different elements, but it's always good to understand that taking action, taking that baby step, is the first building block of generating wealth. Secondly, it's also very critical to have different forms of, or maybe we have different forms of passive or active income, because by having a combination of these ones will question you when your maybe specific business is not generating cash. And maybe also important to note, you've also talked about cash machine. So by talking about a cash machine, I wanted to talk about something that can be able to generate you something that you can use to map between, um, or maybe talk about that I've received this amount of money, blah blah blah. Um, I've received this amount of money from this channel or business line. I've received this, or maybe purchased this asset from this business line. By doing this, you increase your channels of generating or creating more money. So, guys, karibuni sana. Thank you very much for today's session. We'll keep talking more and more about this. But before maybe we wind up, I'll check and see if we have more questions on the chat. Um, I'll see if we have more questions on the chat. Um, and our last point was about having proper teamwork, maybe having about teamwork and having a good relationship with our employees because they form part of the solid business. I also talked about debt management. Um, then um, forecasting and maybe wealth. Um, Most of the people fear to have debt, but if you have a solid business plan, if you have an actionable step, and maybe with the assistance of a mentor who is not jealous and somebody who is ready to take you to maybe step by step, making the baby steps towards establishing your business, then you are likely not to fail. So thank you very much, guys. I think for the comment section, we'll analyze, or maybe um we'll have a Q&A section, uh maybe understanding the different wealth plans that people use. And maybe so to speak, I can just talk about several opportunities that exist, especially right now. Even in AI, you can also generate a lot of money more than what people made during Bitcoin. You can buy or maybe purchase digital assets. These are maybe some of the ways that you can purchase, maybe, or maybe get passive incomes. We also have stocks from different maybe states. Um, not only about Kenya, but you have even stocks where you can purchase stocks for companies that are doing well. Then you can also maybe invest in real estate, maybe establishing a limited liability company. That's also a way of maybe having an asset, or maybe an opportunity. Pre-construction houses, maybe these different umbrellas or entities can help you achieve money in the long term. But last and not least, it's also good to understand or maybe have some of your investment in trusts, um, maybe in terms of shares and the likes. So thank you very much, guys, for we've come to the end of our session. But most importantly, and it's worth noting that an object that is at rest always remains at rest, while an object in motion always keep or it's always in motion. So let's keep moving. Let's never get tired of taking that action towards establishing our plans, our goals, taking that baby step. Like it's a book by David Ramsey. Take that small action. Do that baby step. Do the first step, do the second step, and the results will be tremendous. So thank you, guys. Another reminder that for those of us who have not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. Keep the comments coming. I always make sure that I reply to each and every comment that I put. Thank you, guys. Shalom. Thank you.